Superman 21, Brian Michael Bendis writing, Ivan Reis on the art. The fight with Mongol, although now we know from the other book that it's actually younger.
Son of Mongol,
Yeah.
which is what I'm calling him now.
Yes. But then again, how many Mongols ago was the Mongol we knew from previous events?
Yeah,
versus...
I mean, we don't know. However, I'll take this.
Sure.
Yeah, the fight scenes in this were very, I don't say weirdly because it wasn't that there's negative connotations. It was something I haven't seen before, and it ramped up things like I'm not used to in comics. All basically dialogueless and it's all action, but the way that Reese divvied up the page and the layouts, it's real cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of action at the start. Superman's basically got Mongol beat, but ultimately realizes that in them fighting away from all the armies of all the the United Planets, the United Planets are all starting to fight each other, and Mongols kind of won. So Superman has to kind of go in and break that up.
Yep.
And ultimately needs the Justice League's help to do it. The Justice League show up, and because of what's going on Earth, which we also see a little bit of as well, sort of sprinkled throughout, Wonder Woman says to us, like, hey, you should probably go back to Earth and help your wife, because you kind of created a hurricane that she's dealing with back there. So Superman's hopeful that he's going to be able to try and salvage this United Planets, but we'll see. If you remember last issue, Lois was ambushed by the reporter asking about Superman, basically declared himself the king of Earth. That was not his words, of course, but that's how people are taking it.
That's how they're repeating it.
Yeah. Also, I didn't know Tim Drake owned a hotel in Chicago.
Yeah, well, it's been the Drake since he's been writing, so.
I know, but I'm reading the line here. I'm like, yeah, but he's just Drake now.
Yeah,
so it just made me funny.
No. The stuff with United Planets I thought was really what pushed this book over the top for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just with Superman going like, this is why we need it. We need it because, the Khans and the Dominion have been at war with each other for decades now, and now they finally put it aside to try this out, and it's needed. Unity's needed now more than ever, and I don't know if it's just the current events in the world right now, but that line really resonated this week. So
yeah, I get it.
And let's just get Superman. So
yeah, I like how Lois knows the cameraman that this reporter's showing up with, and she's like, Andy, what the hell are you doing with these people? Like, it's like, hey, I need to pay
money's
rent.
money.
Yeah,
money's money, and I also love how she gives the ambush reporter basically a lesson on reporting etiquette, and that's why I love Lois Lane.
Yeah,
because she's like, she seemed panicked at first, but she's like, wait a minute. You really thought an ambush was going to be the best way to get this out of me? And yeah, she was basically, I don't say shames her, but that's what she does. Like, you could do so much better.
Well, one of the things she does as well is she sort of asks the source, but she points out that I can tell from the way you're asking that you don't know what the source is either. You have no idea where this footage came from. And afterwards, she tries to get it from Andy, and she's like, nah, I can't give it to you. And she's like, yeah, I know. Worth a try. But she kind of says to herself, once she shuts the door, she says to herself, wait, Clark, you're supposed to tell me things like this. And if you declared yourself the king of Earth, that basically makes me the queen. I need lawyers. I need all the lawyers right now. But when Clark's on his way back, towards the end of the issue, of course, to help with this Lois situation, he actually notices that Mongol, thinking, because Mongol fled the fight before, Mongol's bringing Warworld to Earth. We're wrapping up the issue here. We got one more page of Lois stuff, but that's kind of the big cliffhanger from Superman's side of things. And then Lois's side of things, Cameron Chase shows up and wants to question about her. Wants to question Superman as well. Yeah. So, and there's a little joke from her about how that's the second time she's opened the door this issue. She's like, okay, no more doors for me. I'm done with doors. So pretty fun stuff. Yeah, no, it's a solid issue. I mean, I loved the last issue of Superman. And this issue is really good. And there's nothing wrong with this issue, but the last issue it sparks so many like creative ideas for me. And this issue is just nicely bringing them all forward and doing more stuff with them. Superman feels like Superman, him standing up for the United Planets, all that stuff's really good. Ivan Reis's art, obviously, really solid. It's not my favorite art by any means, but it's solid. It's really solid.
Yeah, it's good. Like, again, the Mongol stuff I thought was really, really good. With the lines that he divides it up get more frequent as you get going through the fight. So yeah, and it adds a ramping up, which I thought was really cool. But the character that shows up at the end, Cameron Chase, didn't we get her in Supergirl working for the DEO at one point?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Because yeah, so I'm looking this up because I forgot to do it earlier in the week.
Been a
But
while,
I
but-
could have sworn it was she showed up in Orlando's. Like she was kicked out
By
right
Bones.
before.
Because
right,
Bones
right
replaced her, if I remember right.
Right before Leviathan kicked off.
Well, it was a bit earlier than that, because Bones was in
well,
Supergirl for a while.
Right.
But yeah.
But her showing up here, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So she's here to question them.
Clearly, she found another job, right?
Well, she had the FBI.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, it's good she got out of the DO when she did because Leviathan was coming. And Bendis is going to use her, so that's cool. But yeah, Superman's solid as it has been. Has to make up for action, so.
Yes. No, Superman.
I guess.
Superman has been really good. Obviously, I mean, it's not just because action got worse with the JR art, but
Yeah.
Superman did step up anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So no, good.
Cool.
We giving it, Matt.
I'm gonna give this 7.5. Like you said, it's not as good as last times, but it's still pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with the 7.5. Solid issue, but and continuing the story in ways that I think are interesting. But it didn't necessarily because last issue introduced all that Daily Star stuff, and I thought I loved that stuff. And the fight with Mongol was really nice, sort of spruced out within it.